Hi, I'm Pat Novak, Senior Pastor at Church of the Valley. I've been here for 20 years, and part of my goal is training people to do ministry. We're part of a larger church movement that sees planting churches as the goal of the local church. And one of the missions that we work with is D.O.N.E, which is discipling our nations effectively in West Africa. And our goal there is to plant churches in predominantly Muslim and animist areas, going from Mali all the way down to Liberia. And for a number of years, we've been training people in our own church on how to start groups, how to evangelize through those groups, and to take that kind of knowledge to train church planters in West Africa. And we believe in planting churches that are self-propagating, self-supporting, with their own indigenous leadership, so that when persecution comes, they're able to withstand whatever persecution the Lord sends their way. And so for about a year and a half, we had a group of people in my church training for their first mission trip to Africa. We met 3 hours a week on Wednesday evenings and went through all the material. And last December it was, we headed off to Liberia and Sierra Leone. And on this particular trip, we took 3 ladies with us. And as we landed in Sierra Leone, we trained about 35, 40 of our church planters there, went up into the bush in the gold country, or beg your pardon, the diamond country that has been made famous in some of the schools, going through roadblocks, being shot at, those kind of things. It was a fantastic time, and it was great to see the enthusiasm of the local people as they were going about doing the work God had called them. What was even greater, though, was to see the joy and the expectancy of these ladies as they were being used by God to pass on the knowledge that they had, to see firsthand how churches are planted in Africa. After that grueling trip of, in West Africa, to travel 40 miles is a day and a half trip through potholes and flats and breakdowns, those kind of things. So it was quite exhausting. We headed on down to Liberia. And in Liberia, we spent almost all of our time at a place called Bamboo Town. In a period of 6 months, our church planters there had planted a church. They're averaging about 100, 150 people in worship. The ladies would walk 8 miles one way to carry bamboo to build this church. And our ladies that went along with me, that you'll be meeting in a couple minutes, did all of the training and did 30 to 40 church planters per group and trained them, and had the joy of seeing what God was going to be doing with them. Along with that trip, we believe in people doing ministry, and I believe personally, pastorally, of pushing as much ministry down the level as possible so that our lay people are involved in this kind of ministry. They were involved in our healings and our exorcisms and all of the worship that took place. The ladies saw blind people see, they saw lame walk, and deaf hear. And they got to be part of that. They prayed and anointed people, and it was just a glorious experience. And from that one experience there in Liberia, we have reports now of church planters from that church moving out to villages in the surrounding area. One of the great stories, Paige, in just a couple minutes you'll meet her, she prayed along with me for this young boy who was severely possessed. Could not sit still. They'd taken him to doctors, psychiatrists, witch doctors, and nothing would happen. We prayed for him, and he was set free. The imam and chief of a very large village next to us said, if your God is that great, we'll even build a church for you here if you can bring that truth to us. And I can't tell you the joy it is to see lay people who experience that kind of power of God in their lives and see how God will work and use them to build the bigger kingdom. So I thank God for the people of this church, but especially these people that have a heart for seeing churches planted, not only in America, but throughout the world, to the greater glory and kingdom of God. And so the first person I'd like to introduce to you is Paige Takamoto.